Studies Session 15. General information about practicum in social work. Introduction. Field practice is a central component of social work education, providing learning opportunities related to all parts of the curriculum and reinforcing and enhancing classroom learning. The school appreciates the valuable contribution of the field instructor to students' professional education and is committed to sustaining a supportive and collaborative partnership with the field through ongoing contact regarding curriculum information and students' learning experiences and educational progress throughout the academic year. Content. There are several ways in which department and field instructors will have the opportunity to communicate during the year. The principal opportunity to meet and discuss the students' learning and field placement will be during the field visit to your agency. During the early part of the first semester, the practice lecturer and field liaison will call to arrange a three-way meeting with you and the student at the agency. The meeting will last approximately 1 hour. The purpose of this meeting is to discuss the student's overall progress thus far, to review and or modify the student's field learning objectives and goals relative to identified learning needs of the student, to review the structure of the field instruction process, including expectations of both students and field instructors. Example, the use of process recordings, agendas, and other field educational teaching tools in supervisory conferences. To determine opportunities for integration of field learning opportunities with the curriculum, including planning for second semester. To answer any questions regarding the syllabus and assignments for the year. In preparation for the meeting, it will be helpful to have reviewed the course syllabus and to have a copy of the student's learning contract on hand prior to the visit. The student is expected to have provided their practice professor with a copy of a process recording of an interaction on the field that has not been used for a class assignment. This will give the professor a feel for the student's work at placement. Sometime during the second semester, the practice professor will call the field's instructor to review the student's continuing progress and learning needs in the classroom and field. The field instructor may also call the field liaison and practice professor at any time during the year with questions of concerns. Should circumstances warrant additional three-way and or individual meetings, this can be arranged at any point during the year at the request of field instructor, practice instructor, and or student. Specific agency responsibilities and requirements. The following criteria constitute the basis upon which field placement settings are considered for placement of students in the master's degree program. Those of first degree in social work will derive its own from this. A range of practice experiences related to the scope of the curriculum. B, a professional approach to developing social services as reflected in the agency's function, policies, and practices, as well as an openness to the development of new services. C, a responsiveness to expanding knowledge and to changing social conditions. D, the demonstration of values and practices that are sufficiently harmonious with those of the school to make possible an integrated educational experience for students. E, an understanding of social work practice as a change-oriented helping process. F, the support of the agency's administration and board with respect to professional social services and a student program, where social service departments are in interdisciplinary settings such as hospitals, courts, and schools. The goal of the social service department should be integration with the total program of the organization. G. Sufficient stability of staff and program to ensure continuous field practice placement for an academic year. H. For the agency's benefit as well as the students, it is felt the ability of placement for at least 2 students is best. Placements that provide learning experiences for foundation and advanced students are encouraged. I. Availability of qualified field instructors who have the authority and sanction in the agency. There should be some agreement between the school, agency, and field instructor when the person is from outside the agency. Agencies hiring social workers only to provide supervision for student placement must spell out their plans to incorporate social work as a permanent and integral part of their staff and service delivery. The school recognizes the need for social work to become involved in non-traditional programs and settings and strongly encourages collaboration with the school prior to initiating an offer to provide field experience. When funds are available and it is appropriate to do so, a field instructor may be employed by the university and by mutual agreement and planning assigned to a field placement setting to supervise a unit of students. J. Supervisory changes must be reported to the coordinator of placement immediately. K. A staff of sufficient size to maintain and develop the basic programs of the institution without reliance upon students to carry on the program. L. Designation of a staff person to have overall responsibility for the student training in the field placement setting. M. A receptive attitude towards systematic inquiry into appropriate areas of the organization's programs and practice. Students can responsibly and critically review agency's policies, procedures, and practice in keeping with the thrust of the curriculum. N. A willingness to make available for practice records and other institutional materials and information for classroom use within the parameters of privacy legislation. In line with this, students may be asked to study documents such as agency charters, agency bylaws, board minutes, annual reports, agency budgets, service reports, etc. Appropriate confidentiality safeguards will be observed. Agency meetings. In order for a student to have the optimum educational field practice experience, it is essential that he or she attends selected administrative meetings. In general, the student should attend those meetings, the purpose of which is to interpret or evaluate agency programs, services, and procedures, or to convey areas of knowledge essential to offering a specific service. This is even as including agency board meetings, agency staff meetings, staff committee involvement, interdisciplinary group meetings, joint staff board committees, and interagency meetings. While not every student would have the opportunity for such experience, the participation should be selectively determined in line with agency practice and related to agency purpose and service. If agencies can meet the above requirements, students should be told at the placement interview that their attendance is an expectation and supported by the school. The agency is expected to consider the student's level of readiness and progression of experience in determining his or her participation in agency meetings. But this participation is viewed as essential to students' learning. As is true of all other assignments, attendance at meetings should be followed by discussion in supervisory conference to help the student to connect it with the whole of his field practice experience. Selection of field instructors. Supervision of students can be a very exciting, challenging, and demanding activity. In most instances, assuming responsibility for student supervision is an addition to one's ongoing duties. Although many other persons in the field practice agency will be called upon to provide educational experiences, the student's immediate field instructors is the key person responsible for the student's learning in the field. Because of this, certain criteria should be considered in taking on this educational function. Basic requirements for being a field instructor. 1. A Master of Social Work degree from an accredited school of social work plus 2 years of postmaster's practice experience. 2. An aptitude for conceptualizing and demonstrating practice knowledge and skills and the ability to stimulate same in students. 3. A knowledge and understanding of agency's program and service delivery methods. 4. A depth of practice knowledge and understanding of a broad range of methods. 5. Ability to identify and teach principles and concepts from specific practice tasks. 6. Ability to evaluate and influence the delivery of services. 7. Support of the agency and or program administrator. 8. Willingness and agency support for participating in the field instructor's course offered by the school. 9. Demonstrated ability to carry out the supervisory role and or experience in supervision. The school will prefer persons who have had some experience in supervising students, although exceptions can be made. 10. Completion of forms which provide the school with education and employment experiences of the field instructor. End of study session 15. Thank you for listening.